So in this tutorial, I'm going to quickly show you how to create a brand new Gene.ly template. So once you've logged into Gene.ly, there's a couple of different ways that you can create a new Gene.ly. This is the window that you get. Now you can click on Create Gene.ly here, or up in the top here, you can create Gene.ly here. So I'm going to select here, I'm going to go to Blank Creation. So in Blank Creation, you've got lots of different options there to pick from, as well as lots of different presentation types. What you need to do is have a quick look at which one you want. So for this one, I'm going to select Presentation. This will then open up the window. Now, this may take a few seconds just to come through. And then you've got our main window. We've got our main template window here. So this is our main slide that we're working on. Down the side here, we have pages. We can add pages in if we want to. So if I select blank and add, we can add more pages in. The nice thing is you can also name these to make them a little bit easier to follow. Which is quite a nice way of doing it. Now, to add a background colour, we're going to go to Background. And what we need to be aware of is this button down here, which is Document Colours. Now, if we select this, what this allows us to do is select 3 key colours that we will base our document on. So I'm going to select the first one here. And what you'll notice, if we click off, is down here where it's got Colour for background, we've got our 3 document colours there available for us to use. So we can select one of these colours as our background. So if I select blue, the slide will change to blue. Select yellow, change that, and white for that. So for this one, we're going to use blue. You have the ability also to use templates from the library as well as images as well. But for this, I'm just going to use the blue colour. So let's try and add some text now to our slide. To do that, we select the text option in our menu, and you can see that we have lots of different styles and types of text that we can select from. So on a basic one, we'll select Title 1. Click it once and it appears in the middle here. We then have the ability to highlight it and use our tools on the top toolbar here. We've got the ability to change the colour. So again, we can go to our document colours and select the orange. We've also got the ability to change the font as well. And we have lots of different fonts that are available for us. So I'm going to select the top one here. We can change the font size. We can make it bold, italic, underline. We can also highlight it as well. And we can change it from an uppercase to a lowercase too. So I'm going to put in here, introduction. And I can also reshape my text box. So I'm going to reshape it and put it as wide as possible. And then using the paragraph tool at the top here, I can then align it to be more centered. I can use the move tool to move it down to the bottom. I've also got the ability to change the line height as well as the letter spacing as well, but I'm not going to use that for this tutorial. The other key thing to be aware of is I have a lock button, so I can click on that and I can lock it, which then prevents me from moving it about. And I also have an interactive button and an animation button. I'm going to come to the interactive button later, but the animation button, if I select on here, gives me lots of options. I can choose whether to have it enter, exit, or be continuous. I can have interactive elements for hover mouse or a click, and I can have an effect as well, so I can fade it in if I wish to do so. It will also give me directions, so I can fade it in, have it move in, and it also gives me a speed as well, so I can actually slow it down or speed it up, and I can delay the start of it as well. So that's the text option. I can add more text in as needs be in exactly the same way. To add pictures to our Gene.ly presentation, we need to select Image from the side menu, and we'll come up with this options here. So you can go to your computer. So if I click in this box here, it brings up some folders. So I'm going to select this image here, and it will upload it onto the system for us. And then if we select it, it will then place it actually onto our slide. Now what I'm going to do is I can reposition this. I can change the size of it, move it about. Again, I can lock it, I can animate it, I can create it with some interactive element, or if I'm not happy with it, I can always replace it. So if I click replace, again, I've got lots of options here. I can select on my device, and it will show me the ones that I've uploaded. I can go to GIFs, and these are pre-populated GIFs that they've already put in. I can go to illustrations if I want something a little bit more illustration based. Or even I can go to a website and find something from a website. As I said, Gene.ly gives you the options of having some extra stuff. So if you click on show more, it will then come up with more bits. And we can do a little bit more of a search as well. So we can actually search those images and find what we want. Now let's talk about the interactive elements that you can add on. Now this is what makes Gene.ly so different and so much more interesting, is the fact that you can create more of an interactive element. So if you select interactive elements from the main menu, you get an option of interactive graphs, interactive buttons. Now we're going to select buttons, but before we select buttons, we're going to go click on show more, because there are so many different buttons that you can pick on. So select something that is appropriate to your presentation. So for this one, I'm going to select, let's scroll down a bit more. I'm going to select something that's in line with our colours that we've got here. So I'm going to select the little eye icon here. I'm going to select it, and you'll notice that it will automatically put it on, and I can move it using my tools. And again, I can lock it and I can replace it, and the animation's already been set. But at the same time, this add interactivity section has been placed at the side, and it gives me a couple of key areas that I can include. So the first one I'm going to do is the tooltip, which is a short label or description appears when you hover the mouse over it. So if we select it, you'll see that it will come up with this. So again, we've got the opportunity to name the element. So let's call this intro. And I'm just going to paste in a little bit about directors of photography. Now, the nice thing here is I can also adjust my fonts, my lettering. So again, I can put in bullet points. I can change my text color if I want to, so I can make it a little bit more snazzy. I can increase the font size as well. So let's do that. So let's raise it up to 4. Let's take it up to 24. I can change my uppercase. I can add links in. I can add images in as well. Actually, my font size is a bit too big there, so I'm going to bring that down. I can put any information that I would like in this box. And once I'm done, if I click on save, that has now set that information within that. We'll go preview. Go preview. It will show me. Here's my presentation. And if I go to here and just hover above, we have that information that comes up on the screen. Let me now show you how to put in a window as an interactive element. So again, going to interactive elements, I'm going to select a different icon. So I'm going to select this one here, bring that one up, just pull that to the side. And again, when we come in here, we're going to select window instead. And what window does is it allows me to bring up a full window over the top of my presentation. So it's not just a little tiny box, it's actually a large window. Again, we get lots of different templates that we can use. I'm going to just go with a blank one here. So I'm going to select blank. And then once you've got this up, again, you can name the element. Click on edit window. And it will give you a preview of what that's going to look like. So if I select on it, and again, I've got the opportunity with this where if I unlock it, I can actually move this about and change the position of it if I want to. I'm not going to want to do that today. But whilst I have this open, what it now means is I can go into my text button area and I can actually select what I want. So I'm going to select paragraph for here. So I'm going to pop the paragraph in there. I'm going to reposition that. So I've got that in place. I'm going to highlight it, and I've already put in some text already. Pop that in. And change the font. So again, the same tools that we've used earlier. So I can get that all positioned nicely. And then once I'm done and happy with that, all I need to do is go back to page. And what that will now do is if we preview it, there's our slide, select on the interactive, and it will come up with our window, which we can then close once we're done. So again, going back to interactive elements, I'm going to select the little link symbol, pull that up to over here, and this time I'm going to select link. And what that will do is that will allow me to add in a link. Again, I can give this a name. So on here, I'm just going to paste in my link that I've got. And it gives me other options as well. Open, replacing Genially, same tab. I would leave that as unselected. And once done, just select slave. And if we now preview, you see, when we click on it, it will direct us to a website page in a separate window. There are two possible ways that we can add video content to our Genially presentation. The first is by embedding it within a window. So we can go to interactive elements, and if we go to interactive elements search and we type in YouTube, we can come up with all the symbols that are relevant to YouTube. So I'm going to select this one here, pop that in, just move that to one side, and then I can go to window, and like we've done before, go blank, edit the window, and in here, if I just click on the window, I've already copied the link to my YouTube video, and if I just paste it in, it will automatically pop it in. I've got the ability to change what my link is. I can select autoplay, so it will start playing straight away, but it will also mute it as well. I can loop it, and I can hide the playback bar as well. And once done, I can click off, close that window, I'll go back to page, and there we have our clip there. But there is actually another way that we can do this. So I'm going to pull this down here just for a second. There we go. And that is by using the insert button. So in the menu, go to insert. And we've got the opportunity to insert audio, video, and others. So I'm going to select the video. And again, we're going to come up with a paste link. So I can paste the link in there. If I go enter, it will then automatically add it onto the page itself, or the slide itself. And again, I can paste it there, and I can reduce it down to make it slightly smaller. So if we go to the preview, you can see once we open it up, we have a video that will play once we click on it. Or alternatively, we can click on the link down here, and it will come up in the window, and it will automatically play straight away. Let's talk about the idea of building a presentation using it. So as we talked at the very start in the first section about creating extra pages, what I've now done is I've coloured my 2 pages. So I'm on the first page and I've coloured the second page yellow. So I've got the opportunity that if I select pages from the main menu, I can see all my pages in this list here. So I'm going to select this one here, so we've got this. Now, automatically when you do a presentation, it will allow you to navigate between the two. But we may want to add in additional buttons that might take you to particular pages. So we can go to resources. And in resources, we've got lots of different icons and illustrations and extra bits that make your presentation look a little bit more pretty. So I'm going to go to lines and arrows. So here we've got lots of options here that we can select. So for this, I'm going to create a little back button that allows you to go back to the first page that you've been to. So I'm going to select this one here. That will put that in. And I can reduce that down, so I can change the size of that and pop that over in the corner. And of course I can add in more content onto this. Now let's use that interactive button that's connected to any item that we put in. And that's this one here, add interactivity. So if I select that, we get given all this information here. And we can go to page. Once I'm go to page, it tells us we're on this current page. Here's our other page, and we can create a go back, or go to the first page, or go to the previous page, or go to the last page. It gives us all our different options. So we're going to click on first page, which means that from now on, if I add more pages in, it will always take me, clicking on this arrow will always take me back to that first page itself. So if I go save, and we'll go preview, and you'll see we've got the button here that allows us to navigate between our pages anyway. But if we go back to this page and we click on the symbol here, it will automatically take us back to our first page. Now we need to be able to share it. So to do that, if you go up to present at the top and we'll click on it, we get this publish bit. Now because we're using a free account, we need to make all our projects that we do will be public online available. So we're going to select there. Okay. Reusable means that you're allowing people to use the same template. So for this, I'm not going to necessarily do that. For the title, I'm just going to type in introduction. And I may want to put in a description as well. Once that's done, just click on all set. And that's now published our presentation as it is. Now to share it, if I go up to the share button at the top, click on that, and you can see that I can link it, send it as a link, have it as an insert, send it via an email. I can stick it on social networks if I want to, but underneath gives me a page that I can then go, right, I'm going to copy, and I can copy it, and then I can paste it in as a link on whatever document I want to place it in. And that's how you create a Jingly.